Hey guys, welcome back. If you guys are new, my name is Lauren and I'm a nurse that's here for all your science-backed skincare reviews. And today's video is going to be an exciting one because I'll be sharing with you finally the results of my 2-month comparison test against Drunk Elephant's Protini Power Peptide Serum versus Paula's Choice's new Discoloration Serum. I have pictures to share with you guys. I also wanted to compare photos. You'll see the results are pretty intriguing, especially considering that I was just pregnant. I didn't know how much melasma I would have left behind. And I'm happy to report I did see results with both of these. One was more apparent than the other, but I had some exciting skin changes. So I'll definitely be incorporating one of these into my routine. So we have lots to get through today, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. So quick little background for you guys. My skin type is dry with hyperpigmentation. I've had dark spots that I've been trying to treat probably since my early 20s, and actually that's one of the reasons that prompted me to start this channel. I was testing so many products and I just wanted to report my findings. And over the course of the last, oh gosh, I'll be 37 this year, over the last 17 years, I've found different ingredients that have worked, and one of those has been lactic acid. I've noticed more evening on my skin tone with lactic acid, and I just love the smoothing results it gives. But I really wanted to see if a new ingredient like tranexamic acid would make a difference. So this isn't really a brand versus brand video, more of an ingredient versus ingredient results video. So the Drunk Elephant Protini Peptide Resurfacing Serum has 10% lactic acid, and the Paula's Choice has the tranexamic acid at 2%, also with a 5% concentration of niacinamide. Now, niacinamide is not new to me. It's in a ton of the skincare that I own, but tranexamic acid is newer to me, although I have heard of it before, and not for its role in skincare. Actually, I've seen it in my nursing orders at work. So a lot of our pre-op patients will have tranexamic acid on our on-hold to the OR orders. So if we have a pre-op patient going to the OR, we see all of their pre-op orders, and because this is an ingredient that is known to stop bleeding, it's used for emergency use in the OR. So I was very intrigued by its role in skincare, but its role makes sense because it has a part in the plasminogen pathway, and interestingly enough, when you're exposed to the sun, UV exposure actually starts this pathway in your skin. So it makes sense as to why this would help with melanin production, or actually inhibit melanin production. Can you tell I get excited about this stuff? But I just thought that was so interesting, and there's a lot of different theories of how it helps too. I read something about it maybe decreasing the vasculature in the skin also, and it also prohibits the communication between keratinocytes with melanocytes in the skin. So it works in a lot of different ways, and the whole science behind it completely makes sense. So I was very excited about this ingredient. I've relied on lactic acid so long, but I really wanted to see if this made a difference. So in comparing the two products, let's first talk about the Paula's Choice product. So first on the ingredient list, we have water. Second on the list, we have niacinamide, and that's coming in, like I said, at a 5% concentration. We also have glycerin in here, a nice emollient ingredient, a nice moisturizing agent. Fourth on the list, we have the tranexamic acid at a 2% concentration. Now, a lot of studies have showed a improvement in skin melasma with as high as a 5% tranexamic acid concentration. So, but there are successful studies with as little as 2% as well, and that goes with the niacinamide. Niacinamide comes in as an effective concentration between 2 to 5%. So great effective ingredients in the serum. There's also other skin soothers in here. There's allantoin, which is a nice skin soother, which I like to see in a lot of my skincare. That's big in Korean skincare as well. There's also bakuchiol in here. Now, I myself, I'm not 100% convinced on the bakuchiol plant extract type. It's known as the natural alternative to retinol because it may behave in the same way that retinol does, as it may increase collagen in the skin. Now, we don't have the data like we have behind retinol. Retinol, we know that we literally have seen collagen being produced in the skin with retinol. We don't have those true like biopsy studies that we do with retinol. Actually, I think there's only 2 studies out there that backs the use of bakuchiol, but the potential's there, so it may be having a positive effect on your skin. Non-irritating. This is a very, very gentle serum. I haven't experienced any red patches, any irritation. Now, as far as the directions go, this says to limit initial use to 3 times per week and then gradually increase to daily. I was able to go up to daily within probably the first 2 weeks. I didn't even experience any tingling. So a very gentle product. It has a thin, lightweight consistency that I find very soothing, very silky. You don't experience any pilling with this. There's no flaking. It incorporates easily into your skincare routine. I didn't have an issue with my moisturizers. It absorbs quickly. It doesn't feel heavy. A really pleasing serum to use. And actually I felt like my skin, within the first week of using, I felt like my skin was overall more hydrated and smooth feeling. So I did really have a great initial impression from this. And comparing it with the Protini Power Peptide Serum, the Protini serum has a 10% lactic acid concentration in here, which is a pretty strong AHA concentration, but lactic acid is a lot more gentle than your glycolic acids because the glycolic acid molecule is a lot smaller. It gets into the skin a little deeper. So this sits on top of the skin, which has more of a moisturizing effect on the skin actually, but it still has those chemical exfoliating effects. And we know that AHAs can actually help to turn over our skin cells to hopefully help essentially just slough off that melasma. Now there's 11 peptides in here, which peptides are known for also that collagen, potential collagen plumping capability. If not, you're just going to get a lot of hydration from those peptides and also helping to build back the skin's barrier. And we have sodium PCA in here, a nice natural skin identical ingredient that is a nice soothing hydrator. Other nice hydrators in here as well. And as far as the directions go, Drunk Elephant actually encourages you to use this both morning and night, 7 days a week. Now my non-professional opinion would argue against doing this. I would say to incorporate this gradually into your routine. I actually only use this for once a week for the first 2 weeks, and then I was able to build my tolerance up to at least 3 times per week. I felt initial irritation with this, and then once I started using it more frequently, my skin got used to it and I actually started loving the result. Now it has a very similar feel to the Paula's Choice, maybe a little bit more runny. Yes, you see that just ran off my hand, but it does absorb just as quickly into the skin. It has that same silky feel, feels lightweight, it doesn't feel sticky, no heavy residue. It feels really nice and velvety. These actually both feel very nice on initial application. I would say that I felt more hydration with the Paula's Choice and not as much with the Drunk Elephant. All right, so we talked about the ingredients. Now let's talk about the pH. The pH scale measures the acidity or the basic nature of a solution that includes water. And I measured both of these with pH strips I have. A lot of you encouraged me to start doing this, and I think it's a great idea. I know other channels like No BS Beauty do this, and I find it really helpful. So Paula's Choice comes in at around a 5 to 6, and the Drunk Elephant comes in at about a 4. Now with a chemical exfoliant, you do want to see a lower number on the pH scale. The lower the number, the more acidic a product, but you don't want a super low acidity. I know the Good Genes product is about around a 2 to a 3, and actually in-office derm treatments are as low as a 2, and you don't want a super acidic product when you're using something over the counter because they can be super strong. But a 4 is a good level. It's still acidic enough to where you're going to get results, but not too harsh on the skin. Now the Paula's Choice is very similar to our skin's natural pH. Our skin's natural pH is around 5.5 is generally the average that you'll see. So this is going to be a nice gentle serum. This is not an exfoliating serum, so you don't need it to be lower on the pH scale. So adequate pH levels with both of these. Now let's talk about my result. All right, so this is the exciting part. I know this is what most of you are here for. Before getting into the pictures, I wanted to first warn you guys, I was just pregnant. My son was born on June 1st, so I do have some new melasma because of these hormonal changes. Also, it is mid-July in Philly right now. I'm always extra cautious. I reapply my SPF. You guys know how much I love my SPF, but I still probably have experienced new melasma spots from being out in the sun, so just keep that in mind. But with that said, this first set of pictures is my results from the Paula's Choice. I will warn you, this is the lesser impressive of the 2 pictures, but there are some skin changes here. So you'll see on the top of my cheekbone, I do have a new melasma spot, probably because of those 2 factors that I just mentioned, but I was really impressed with the results in the lower half of my face. I have 2 different areas where I noticed an improvement in my sunspots. So my tone looks a little bit more even, and I even noticed a little bit less sagging in my folds on the outside of my nares and then by the side of my lips. That could have just been a coincidence depending on how puffy I was that day or the position or the angle of my face for that picture, but I thought that was an interesting point. But I think the Drunk Elephant pictures are a lot more drastic. You'll notice a lot more lightening in a ton of different spots. So I can count 1, 2, 3, at least 4 spots where I noticed an improvement in my tone. And then even in the hydration levels of my skin, it looks like the plumpness of my skin is a little better. My skin looks a little bit more glowy in that after picture. And I just feel like my tone looks a little better. So I was definitely more impressed with the Drunk Elephant, and that is with only using this 3 times a week, and this I was using on a daily basis. So as far as my results go, I would say that a lactic acid is going to be more potent, a more powerful agent in fighting those sunspots, whereas the tranexamic acid, I did experience some lightening, but not as much as with the lactic acid. Now this could be because both the tranexamic acid and niacinamide could take a little bit longer to show its effect, so maybe when I start to incorporate this a little bit longer into my routine, I'll see even more results. But I will say I did really enjoy the experience with this serum. It feels so soothing on the skin. It's hydrating. I was noticing pretty quick results. I noticed the lightening, not from the pictures, but just overall my skin looked brighter the more and more I was using it. But looking at the results, the pictures definitely speak for themselves, and I experienced more lightening with the Drunk Elephant. So it seems like for my skin, AHAs are more effective in treating dark spots than the niacinamide and the tranexamic acid was. So I will continue to incorporate these ingredients into my routine though, and I also am excited to see what a tranexamic acid can do on a longer term usage. There's a lot of different serums out there that I still want to try. I know this faded serum, everybody is raving about this. It's like the product on Instagram. I still got to give it to the lactic acid. I just love the powerfulness that an AHA ingredient gives. It's just instant resurfacing. You get that instant smoothness. Each time I use this the next day, I felt like my skin overall looked more smooth. Not hydrated, that's the one thing between these two. There was definitely more of a hydration factor with the Paula's Choice and the Drunk Elephant, but more smoothness with the Drunk Elephant and more lightening. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was super fun. I love these result-based tests. I think they're so powerful. I really want to try and do more of these. I know I test so many products. It's really hard to do. I can only test so many over a certain amount of time. But let me know if there's a certain ingredient that you guys would like to see tested or certain product comparisons. I know a lot of you guys asked me about this product compared with Good Genes, because that is another one of my favorite lactic acid serums. So that could be on the docket as well. So let me know what you guys would be interested in. Thanks for watching this video again. I'd love to hear your favorite AHA serums down below, your favorite ingredients for discoloration. Also share those as well. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.